I see a go live banner.
We are live. Thank you.
Oh, it feels so good to be live.
Yes,
So you guys know, apparently there's an issue with the Mixer interface right now, and I had to actually use a stream key instead of
Stream
the
or
account.
Riot.
I told him to riot.
So
Yeah, Riot's always the option.
But we have arrived. Welcome in everybody to episode show number 9 of the Press What to Join podcast. That's right. We are a weekly podcast that covers a bunch of gaming news, questions, topics, live chats, community interactions. We're here on Mixer Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern, the YouTube over the weekends. Make sure to follow us at Press What to Join on our Twitter, Instagram, all the other platforms. But thank you everybody for taking some time out of your week. We hope the week has gone well. Social isolation, quarantine isn't going too bad for you guys, but we got gaming here to help. Got a good group of friends in and a good show for you.
bunch of weirdos.
It's a bit of a light news, that's for sure.
The podcasters, not the audience.
Well, I mean, maybe it's okay to be weird, I suppose.
Okay,
right?
the Killer Bunny guy, maybe.
Totally.
Hey, being normal is for losers.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, I'd much rather be abnormal.
Changing hats.
I'd
More
rather have
podcasts.
abs, but that's just me.
Changing hats already. What a
Maybe
guy.
when you get older, you grow into those. All right.
He's gonna grow.
But
into
on
his
tonight,
hat, maybe.
we got some crafting, building type game talk, right? A little bit of No Man's Sky, a bunch of us have been jumping into. So we wanted to reflect on that, Minecraft Dungeons. And then we also wanted to open the conversation up to be a bit broader about gaming and how it affects us, right, in our day-to-day lives, how it helps with things like depression and, interactions. And gaming's also been really influential in the community with fundraising for obviously all the different things going on in the world, the human malware and so on.
Yep.
So we wanted to touch on that. We'll definitely be getting to some of those Destiny leaks coming up and a bunch of other items throughout the show.
Yeah.
On today's show, we got the regular crew. You got myself, Autonomy. We also have Angle of Death,
What's up?
Unforsaken Jay,
What's up?
GMD Geek,
So
and Hurt Locker.
Yeah, yeet.
every time.
Every
On cue.
time, boys. Every time.
Always. On cue.
Never fails.
Expect nothing less.
Or
Welcome in
more.
chats. For
What do we have?
our group here, though, how's the week been? What have you guys been up to this week?
So who do we have in chat? We've got
Let's see.
Peaks,
I'll start.
Fantasy Star Online, actually.
PTO.
Country Henry,
Uh,
German Man. Yeah, cool. Hey guys, welcome.
You got peaks.
Yep.
Always got
PTO, that does not sound like fun, Hurt.
I mean,
Paid time off.
yeah. Well,
I see the
Sort of.
GoFundMe
We-
page didn't work from Killer.
That should have been the lead.
Hey, now, Killer, I'm going to say this much. That gave us some great ideas. We did reach out to
It looks
Manscaped and Dollar Shave Club.
thank you.
Dollar Shave Club and Manscaped. And surprisingly, we heard back from one of them. So, just FYI. I don't know if anything's
And-
going to happen from it, but
Yeah, yeet.
I got to talk to you about that later, Geek. Actually, I have a good idea.
is
Let's
it
do
is it G-rated?
if it's anything
Oh, yeah.
like your idea earlier,
The other one, no.
Well, let's just say
Okay,
I
guys.
have a
So,
rep.
okay, so you guys got to understand. You know, all know High
Time
Angle's
for Angle to
girlfriend.
shave, please.
Time for Angle to shave, please.
Is this
That's his girl.
is this going to be GoFundMe time too?
Let's
I
repimp
hope
the,
not.
Let's repimp the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
So you all have to understand, we're all getting ready for this the stream tonight, and we get on here, and everyone knows I've been dealing with a kidney stone. What's the first thing Uncle does is he sends me a video of this guy that had to get 3 kidney stones physically removed from his kidney for surgery, and I'm not talking like a kidney stone. We're talking like stuff like bigger than this kidney stone. 3 of them. No. I couldn't do it. I was just like,
I have the drum check. How much will it take for Angle to shave?
I'll take the entire Trump check, and then maybe we can talk. I have car parts to buy.
what? You're not buying anything for your girlfriend?
Oh.
Oh,
The only
Oh,
thing
now
I
knows you
like,
have
the only
money.
thing I want is him to buy a razor and use it.
Oh, I
Karava?
have a razor.
Karava, does he treat you right? Does he take you to dinner? Is he a gentleman? We want
He
to
can't
know.
take her to dinner. Where's he gonna take
Hey,
Does he-
I delivered Taco
curb?
Bell the other day.
Can you
Taco
cook?
Bell. Oh my gosh. Has
Hey,
he ever
Angle.
cooked for you?
Yeah.
We
Can
want to
you
know.
cook,
Has he
Angle?
ever cooked for you?
I cook
Hey,
almost
everybody.
every day.
I got him Taco Bell. What is it?
Wow.
Taco Bell, your guys' favorite place? Oh, he's good. Okay.
Okay, well,
I was gonna
Taco
say,
Bell
we
is
might
like one
have
of the
to
two
have-
places that's open.
We might have to have her be our
One of
guest at the
two.
end of the show. Just
Yeah, it sounds
FYI.
sounds like a plan. Then she can just sit here and
Look at
rag.
Engel's face. What?
His face went. Oh no. I
All-
should
all
call
of
him out
them-
or not. Oh man.
Yeah, one thing we just learned after 2 months of doing this together, there are still some borders we have not crossed, right? Like that. Yeah.
Just do it. Hashtag Nike.
Just hashtag.
Engel's like,
Oh,
I
man.
don't know, man. We've already seen her on cam once, so
She makes her occasional
Briefly.
appearances.
Yeah. She
She
like
w-
floats by in the background.
no, she was the one that had you trying. What was it? That stuff?
That ginger stuff.
The ginger stuff.
Oh my god, the belly shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We started.
Oh, you just got good boyed, bro. Are you the
He's a
goodest
good boy.
boy?
It's all good.
I feel like a dog.
Little tail.
Ginger
pepper
pepper
shot.
shot.
Yeah, that was it.
Ugh.
No, never mind. I'm not gonna go into that. Never mind. Hi guys, how are y'all? How's y'all's
Speaking of
week?
the
How'd it
ginger
go?
pepper shot, that'll bring us to our chocolate challenge that we definitely
Yes,
need to
so-
do on camera.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. first one.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah.
Who's got that link? The Fuego chocolate.
You do.
It's right in the admin chat.
Out of all the people I don't think can take spicy food and know it's gonna be hurt.
Dude, you may be surprised. I grew up like eating jalapenos just to eat them.
Wow.
All right, so I am going.
Homie, I
to-
knew where you grew up. You
gonna
didn't grow up in
screen
a
share
spicy country.
You're
Yeah.
right.
Okay, so
I'm like, oh, salt.
for those that are curious
Yeah,
as to
that's
what we're
right.
talking about, I did this challenge about a year and a half ago. My dad died from colon cancer after almost a 3-year battle.
All right.
And when they did it the first time, it was with Moruga Scorpion blended with a dark chocolate and some sea salt. And I eat a lot of hot peppers. I grow hot peppers. I have Moruga Scorpions and everything in the other room. I love hot food. Wasn't ready prepared when I ate this last time because it knotted up my gut because the chocolate just coats everything. But I'm going to be doing this challenge. I already
It's gonna be a no
pre-ordered
for
it.
me, dog.
And I
Jesus
challenged the rest of my podcasters. I said, if anyone else in the podcast does it, or anyone that's watching us, we can support multiple cameras. The idea is that we get as many people doing the challenge because every box purchased goes to provide 50 meals towards the relief effort for the human malware and coronavirus and stuff that's going around.
Yes.
It's a really good cause. It's $20 a box, but I'm not going to lie, it's hot. Okay, it's going to cover your stomach and everything else. But I was thinking we get a bunch of people on camera. We stream it. We have a good time with it. Any of the donations, if anything comes through, we'll set up a little donation page that we can kick back to go to whatever fund that's out there to help with supporting and getting past people past this. It's pretty difficult times for a lot of people. So I thought I'd share that. Anyone that's interested in it, if you got questions about it, let me know. We will post the link when we post the video. I'm going to go ahead and get back over here.
Yeah, you want to drag that over to the mixer, I think.
And I'm
If there's one
Yeah.
thing my mama always told me to do is never eat something with a skull on it.
you had a smart mama.
Did you? Is it show? It's not showing on the screen.
No, it's not. You
No,
gotta
yeah, I
drag
was
that
showing
over.
some really cool background though.
Why
That
is
was
it not
pretty
showing
dope.
that? I had shared that one
There.
screen.
Yeah, the Zoom
So
Zoom
weird.
for us was working, but it wasn't for the.
Oh yeah, for
So-
the chat. Okay, so sorry about that. This is the challenge. If you go to the page, it's really kind of cool. They had a lot of celebrities that tried it. These, Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard, man, they did the one last year, and it's freaking awesome. Even if you're not going to buy it, it's so worth going to this page and watching the reactions of like a lot of the people that tried it. This one was probably my favorite. Shaquille O'Neal did the chip challenge. These are the
Nice.
same guys that did the really hot potato chip a couple of years ago, and then he paid a guy. He gave a guy in the camera crew in this one $2,000 to eat one of them. The guy handled it. The guy on the end here, I can't remember his name, on the opposite end from Shaq. Yeah, he didn't. He failed horribly bad. I never watched that one. But
Oh,
So,
God.
so what's our goal? We're gonna pick these up, try for next week if we get them in time.
well, they're pre-ordered right now. They're supposed to
Okay.
ship on the 21st. So my best guess is it'll be in 2 weeks. If we get everyone gets them.
Oh, guys, it's weird. I have something to do in 2 weeks.
Woos woos. Okay, so I'm not going to call anybody in our audience wuss wuss because I love everybody in our audience. The podcasters are the wuss out on me. I'm going to call them a wuss.
He beats us. He
Wuss,
beats
wuss.
us.
So yeah, if you're interested in it, I think it's a really great cause. I can tell you it's not a scam or anything. Having done it once before, I think it's great. I'm just, yeah. I just if you tune in for that podcast in 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get to that one, and you're gonna see a bunch of guys just drooling, eyes watering, snot out of the nose. I'll have a box of Kleenex and everything next to me.
It's gonna be great.
And then Curvava, if Angle does it, we'll make sure we zoom in on his.
Oh God.
So
We're gonna pin his video.
Yep. But
I take spicy food surprisingly well.
this I love spicy food. The problem is you combine it with that chocolate and it coats everything. Then it gets real, and then you get the burps. The burps were killing me for like a half hour afterwards. I mean, I've eaten a raw Moruga scorpion. Okay, the hottest pepper out there, and it didn't do anything to me. That last Fuego challenge, man, it was a little bit different.
See,
Different
I'm
is
so
always
good on all of that. So good.
Yeah, which leads me actually to talking about everything else that's going on in the gaming world. Just for an interesting number, I did some research. I was very, very curious because I don't know how many of you that did the Destiny, the Bungie challenge, and then watched the live streams and the donation where Bungie raised almost $300,000 in support for the coronavirus relief funds and everything like that. So I was curious. I was very intrigued by this whole notion because a lot of people are complaining gaming's not worthwhile. Between Sony, Ubisoft, Raid, Destiny, or the Bungie community, Nintendo Switch, it's just about a dozen different companies to date. From what I have been able to find so far, is between that group of people, over 2 million masks have been donated. Okay, and over $14,350,000 has been raised by gaming communities to go directly to support the coronavirus and relief efforts for it. So if anyone thinks that gaming is not worth it and that we're a bunch of really weird people, don't get me wrong, we are weird, we are abnormal.
We never disagreed to being weird.
Yeah. But
Why
the
would we
efforts
do
that are
that?
going out there are really, really kind of cool. I haven't been able to confirm one. I'm trying to confirm it that Nintendo is not only donated a whole lot of masks, but there's a potential opportunity where I believe they may be donating Switches for children in hospitals. I'm not 100% positive on it. It was a thread I read. I could not confirm it, but I thought it was a really cool idea. It'd be really interesting if they did that.
Yeah.
I mean, because it hits everybody. It impacts everybody across the board. One of the things that I was reading about and dealing with because of where I'm at, we do read and do some analytics. I'm part of a data analytics team that helps try to get more and more sources into data analytic engine. There's the little kids and stuff are a little bit more resilient to it. They still catch it, and it wreaks havoc on them. But the aspect I didn't think about it: what happens to the child when both of their parents or their single parent is hospitalized with it? What's that child going to do? What are they going to do? We never came across that. So all the relief efforts out there, I tip my hat to everybody that's helping however they can. So hopefully everyone comes together and we get through it. It's one of those things I never thought we'd
Almost
have to
went
talk
High
about.
School Musical right there. We're all in this together.
Please don't.
Sorry,
That's
nobody
enough.
else.
Now we know what Hurt does in his free time.
Dude, facts. Like, honestly, I've literally only ever saw, like, I think about 10 minutes of it.
He's watched the entire series.
No. It was in, like, middle school, I
Hey,
believe.
Spark.
And, hey, welcome to
Spark?
Spark. And I couldn't get, like, further than 10 minutes. I instead went to the office to get away from that.
Classic man
We-
cave
we-
move.
We all know Hurt was the theater kid.
No, I played sports, my guy.
Hurt, I got a question. Did your friends
Yes.
ever make you do the truffle shuffle?
See, I only got fat about 3 years ago.
He turns away.
Looks at Sam. I got fat from sympathy. Wait, what? 3 years ago? Is that when he was born? Yeah.
Sounds
Okay.
about right. Now I'm a chub. It's all
Kill-
good though.
Killer calling you out.
Don't let.
Right.
Don't. Hey, Bunny. Listen, bruh.
So what's 3 years in compensation years?
Dog years.
Is that the guys always had like 3 years
Oh,
to
man.
something, or take 3 years away from something? So we got that technically 6 years ago.
The way that the dad memes went out there, the sympathy weight that dads put on.
Thanks for that. I want to see you do the. I just got a text message from a viewer saying, "I want to see you do the truffle shuffle." So thank you.
Shuffle. All right, come on, let's see the truffle shuffle.
I don't even know. This would go from a teen-rated stream to
man.
like an adult-rated
Quick,
stream.
Otto,
Real quick.
go set up a GoFundMe donation feed for
Oh,
Hurt
this
too.
yeah, a weekly thing that we do.
Dude,
Yeah, it's
done.
If
We
We
get
had-
contacted by GoFundMe. They're like, "This is not how you guys should
No.
be using this service."
Our
Well,
viewers, yes,
I will-
we are
I
a
will
gaming
s-
podcast.
We'll
Killer.
set up a
There you go.
a donation link next week, okay? And if we can raise a certain amount of money, we'll have Hurt do the truffle shuffle.
Bro, I'm gonna have to study it.
It's for virus relief, Hurt. You got to do
Oh,
it.
it's for
hold up your shirt and
virus.
jiggle it.
You don't want that, bro. I don't
Is
even
that
want
against like
that.
Mixer's terms of service or policy or something like that?
I don't know.
I
I
don't want to get banned here.
No, I do know that Twitch. There's a huge uproar going on Twitch right now because
There
Twitch
is.
slammed down the clothing requirements, and the ladies are a little bit upset because they don't
Oh,
get to show
so
up.
no more
No more-
cleavage streamers?
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
Well,
If
there
they have
goes
a-
all the funds.
I
have
was
a
saying,
little bit,
there goes all their
but, yeah.
viewers.
Yep. So
Ooh, that was
that's how
heavy
Hurt
shots.
was gonna stream on Twitch. So
But
dude,
that's
listen,
how-
I am an Italian
Wait,
man.
now
That's
here's-
all I
You're
here's-
gotta
gonna see
say.
her in an American flag crop top that's like twisted up the knot in the center,
now he's
Oh,
just
man.
gonna dress like
jiggling them.
Ashton. He's gonna dress like Sean Ashton
man.
from 51st Dates.
Yes, dude.
Yes.
I finally saw
Yes.
that a couple weeks ago. I will wear one of those fishnet shirts. I don't even care. We gotta find them.
Spam and Reese's. Spam
and
Can
Reese's.
are you gonna eat that? Can I have that? Thanks.
Do what?
So
I think I would pay just to see him do that. Just to see him wear the fishnet shirt. That's what the GoFundMe page
Are you
needs
paying
to
me?
yeah.
Who are we paying?
well, you've got to buy the shirt somehow.
Mhm.
He's gonna get an Amazon package to his house in like 2 weeks. It's
Why
gonna
do
be
you do this
filled
every
with
week?
Fishnet shirts.
Yeah. So going back to the Twitch thing, I get why they're doing it,
Oh well,
but
yeah.
I'm also at the same time a little bit in agreement with the community that's upset about it, because you have a couple, like a percentage of the population complaining. These Twitch streams were set to private, so you had to join them and acknowledge the age and everything else. I get it. They're streaming. They're using what they have. I don't agree with it, but they're using their assets to make money. I get it. And if people
Hurt's
want to
using
follow it,
his later
people want to follow it.
for, Killer.
But at what point is I mean, we have YouTube gone copyright nuts crazy over musical sounds.
Oh well, yeah.
Twitch is that
Yeah,
same way
that's
now.
true.
So you have to find royalty-free music, which is even much more of a pain. But I use a couple different streaming services for my music when I'm streaming, if I'm playing music. But now, like, even for us, because we're trying to stay family friendly in our podcast and everything, and our Discord, we have the bots in there to make sure that the language is appropriate. We try to make sure that we don't drop. We might occasionally slip. I know I did last week while I was medicated once or twice. No excuse. But, you know, all this other stuff. At what point does the platforms go too far, and because of a small percentage of the population complaining consistently?
Country Henry says no more TikTok challenges, please.
Ooh, speaking of TikTok geek, I heard
Ooh.
something about the Chinese government having access to all that. You probably know more about that, but continue.
I cannot talk about that. You can, if somebody brings up a news article on, I'll be happy to.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
I wouldn't trust it with my credit card information.
Yeah.
Or my. Well, the problem is all those apps, they have the ability to geotag. You might turn it off, you might turn it on. It's still going to grab it because the app has access to it. So just be smart with your apps. It's just like that whole thing that came out with that aging app that was resurged
for
last
like
year.
Russia or whatever.
Yeah, you know what? So what? They got some access to your location and some of your information. But Yeah, the world's coming more and more global. So just because I see data streaming to Russia or data streaming to Malaysia or to Japan or to Philippines or something, and it's my phone, I'm like, I go look at the apps, I figure out what it is. I have to make sure it's safe, it's my mindset. But, you got to think we're more global now. The economy's not, but the apps and gaming and everything that we do are. So.
Only so much can be done about it.
Yeah, yeet.
But again, going back to that whole Twitch thing, I'm curious in everyone's ideas. How far is too far with censorship on the streaming platforms? I'd be really interested in what you guys' thoughts are. What's too much? Should we police ourselves? Should we get slapped down? Should Twitch restrict that? Or should Twitch introduce, hey, this is adult content, enter at your own risk, which they pretty much already did on some of their channels.
Yeah, see, I feel like that's what they need to do, because you need, like, whenever you start censoring things, then you're going to, unless it's like,
at what point is too much?
Yeah, and then it's
there's got to be a limit.
Yeah,
there's
but I'm not gonna. I don't want.
There's no originality.
Definitely don't want porn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, no explicit, just like outright holy cow. But I mean, even.
But at what point are you violating my basic human rights to wear what I want?
And my First Amendment rights and all that other stuff.
But you also got to understand that Twitch. Good Lord. Twitch is also an international sort of thing, so not everyone has the same
Twitch,
sort of...
Mixer, YouTube, all of the above. I think YouTube, I hate saying this one because we're streaming, we do post to YouTube. I think they're probably one of the worst ones.
Oh, they're getting really bad nowadays.
Yeah.
They promote who they want to, kick who they want to.
Demonetize everyone that says breaks the smallest of rules.
Do you think that this is kind of their own undoing, in the sense of, they started monetizing a whole bunch of things, and people started saying, hey, that's a cash cow, and now they're like, we can't really do this, so we're going to start slamming the door on things?
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to the fact, if you look at the analytics, and if they ever release, I would love this information, because a lot of it's speculation. But if you look at the analytics, your complainers out there, the people that do the crying the loudest, is only a fraction of the gaming population, or a fraction of the audience itself. 2 to 5% repeating themselves over and over and over again, because all they get to do, they have nothing better to do other than sit at a computer, send in hate mail, tweet, and all this other stuff over and over and over again. There's no real rules in place that keep them from making copyright claims or strike claims or hurtful harassment claims. There's nothing, because automatically the defaults for all the platforms is, hey, somebody made a complaint against you, we're taking down your ability to do anything until we prove that you're innocent, instead of being innocent until proven guilty. So there's a lot of stuff that has to be done there. They're far from being anywhere near a proper resolution. But like this whole, growing up when I did, in 80s, 90s, and we had the radio, if I'm gaming or if I'm on a chat and I got some music strolling in the background that helps the personality that I have come through, and I'm not trying to monetize it or use it for something else, it's just rotating in random songs. I mean, how in the heck is that really? I mean, that's no different than if I would have the radio on. If I have the radio on while I'm streaming from one of the local radio stations or something, that can get flagged even though they're broadcasting. It's already taken care of. I don't understand that whole, it's such a crapshoot.
What's the difference of listening to music on your own and having people watch you listen to music while you're doing something?
Yeah.
Right.
So really
the
fast,
same thing can be said of when I drive my car with music on and I open my windows. Congratulations, you're all looking at me.
Jeremy just said, I got nailed once for a video I had set to private on YouTube. I was testing uploads at work and put a clip from Disney Infinity up there. And like, where I see where they got that is Disney.
Yeah. Fun fact about that, actually, if you guys use the Disney Plus app on your phone, you cannot screenshot something through, like, say you're watching Aladdin and you screenshot your phone, it will come out completely black.
Disney don't play.
There's a way around.
Disney doesn't mess around.
There's ways around.
Well, there's always ways around everything, but
like Samantha just said. They've gone after like schools, like public schools, for playing Disney movies and stuff. Like, They don't play. Disney does not play.
It's funny, as a land for kids is, so against letting these people see things.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, like a few years ago, the whole reason that anytime you come to my house, my network is always on a VPN. We've already talked about VPN once or twice. It's always on a VPN here. My ISP is not so bad, but when I lived in a different area and I had Comcast, I downloaded a repair manual for it was a 1998 Ford Explorer. And the guy had named the repair manual Cars. And I downloaded it, and they flagged my account and sent me a warning for downloading Cars the movie. I called customer service and I said, you guys need to remove this right now. This is a legal, full, open, unrestricted, shareable document. It took me a half hour to get through the whole dang thing. And I was not happy. I was like, so at that point when I knew that they were watching every keyword and phrase coming through, and when I started working for, when I worked for Verizon, they didn't do the invasion of privacy on that level. They had certain key stuff that they triggered off of, more hash based. I was just like, forget all this. I just run for my own privacy reasons. I straight up run VPN. I know if you use Firefox, you can get HTTPS in the browser and privacy and all that, but HTTPS or DNS. But yeah, it's getting crazy. No matter what.
My favorite's like both ends of the spectrum too. Like you have the companies that instantly shut these streams down and these video files down and everything that gets sent with these keywords. Then you have the people who just, they're blocked on a lot of things, but the moment someone does something about it or posts something with it, they don't even notice. Like this guy I watched pretended to game while watching a UFC fight while streaming it on Twitch to make it look like he was playing a UFC game. Well, he was just actually streaming a UFC fight.
I remember that happening.
He's sitting in the camera like, and no one has any idea the better. They never shut it down. He was never flagged for it, never sued.
The other thing I was reading about too was,
I remember seeing some stuff like that.
Average time, I'll be right back.
There's a lot of artists out there. They're all full support of people using their music in their streams and everything. But either the label doesn't do it, or it's just a pain in the butt because of how YouTube and them have set their systems up. That even if a artist comes out and says, because it gets their music out there. If I have a song and I'm an artist and I got some streamer that's got 200,000 followers that averages 1,000 people viewing his stream at a time.
That's 200,000 potential new fans that will buy your albums, will buy your merchandise, will go to your concert.
It gets tricky though in the corporate like integration sphere too, right? Because if we're talking about a platform like YouTube or Mixer or Twitch,
they have liability.
We're integrating with a whole other separate company that has its own rules, copyright policies around and there's two things we're really talking about, right? Because I want to make sure we don't confuse the conversations. There's like content itself and like vulgar, profanity, nudity, that kind of whole stuff. That's like kind of one side of the question. And there's also just like straight up copyright laws.
Yeah.
And right.
But at which point is there too much? Because when YouTube started out, they didn't have all this. And it was all of a sudden, I've been really digging into this over the last 3 weeks when I've been trying to figure out how to stream music on mine. Then Twitch slammed a whole lot of streamers and did a 1-day suspension on them. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, okay, how do you take care of this and everything? I'd really interested. So the history I did, YouTube used to allow it. Facebook did the same. I've had 1 or 2 videos of my kids jumping up and around that I posted on Facebook that they muted because the TV was playing in the background or a song was playing on Alexa. And I'm just like going, but my kids are screaming. No one's going to want to replay that song. My kids screaming.
Hurt definitely would. He's used to hearing that sound.
It's really interesting to see. At some point, they're going to get so restrictive on the platforms that no one's going to play any music whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, the music industry is going to see just how much of a loss they had. They're already hurting as is because there's sources like Spotify, Amazon Music Prime,
Apple Music,
Google Play, all those. You got these big, huge things. So the radio's already taken a hit. I personally don't care for Spotify just because I have to have an account with them Otherwise, I'm going to get a stupid double commercial every 2 songs. Whereas if I go to Google Play, I can get quite a few songs before I have a commercial. Now, I use Amazon Music Prime because I already have the account, but and I love music. I don't like crap rap, as I call it, but I love all music. I love old school music when it was still actually music and you had lyrical rhyming and word sleuths and stuff that wrote instead of 2 words over and over with the chorus beat. But I've been
I'm a rapper.
I don't even.
Not sure how to respond to that one.
I don't even know how to respond. Yeah.
Yes. I made everyone speechless. Woo.
Yeah, so you didn't make us speechless for how good it was. You just made us speechless for.
In my mind.
Yeah, in your mind.
My truth is.
His own reality.
Hurt's in his own little world. Everybody can just ignore him. We'll continue.
Everyone knows me here, at least. I mean, come on.
It's expected behavior.
Geek, speaking of real good music, original music, I have to show you my record collection with an original version of one of the longest rap songs ever recorded on record, which took 2 sides of a record to actually play the song.
We're talking vinyl?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're old enough to know what
you
vinyl
actually
is?
know what those are?
I have a large vinyl collection sitting right next to me.
High five, dude.
Actually, my pile might be taller than me.
That's way unexpected. Okay,
but I have an original copy of Rapper's Delight on record.
Nice.
Including the entire my personal favorite artist.
He'll be back. Glenn Miller. We can't hear you now, by the way.
Ooh, I have an idea for a final question.
Nice. If everyone keeps seeing me, Glenn Miller. That's good. Actually, that's pretty good album. I'm surprised you're into that.
I'm so proud of him, dude. Like I feel like a dad.
I am the most un-20-20-year-old you'll ever meet.
Un-20. Just remember that you said that.
Yeah, trust me, I know. It sounds bad, but it's true.
That's weird.
My favorite, most rotated Spotify playlist is music from the 1940s.
See, I listen to. I was over at my dad's the other day helping him work in his shop, and I had all of the Frank Sinatra. Oh, yo, she's calling you out. I had like every Frank Sinatra album on repeat.
I love me some Frank, but they want way too much money for his records in Jersey. I don't know what it is.
Oh, Frank Sinatra?
Yeah.
See, I looked out. I got my parents' vinyl collection. So, yeah, there's about 300 albums there.
Here you go. After my gaming playlist that I use for streaming and my driving playlist, you have my top 2 heavy rotations, Frank Sinatra and 1940s.
See, I like Michael Bublé and Frank Sinatra. I love comparing those 2 often.
Oh, yeah. I love me my music.
We should probably get back on gaming topics. I did have another one I wanted to hit on and ask everyone here if we haven't driven them away. And then I'm going to stop talking. We've been talking about the fundraiser stuff and trying to raise money and awareness to help with the coronavirus and all that. But the other aspect that we were also talking about, a couple of weeks ago, we referenced Verizon came up with an article where gaming traffic has gone up 75%, and it hasn't gone down at all. It's still showing a little bit of an uptick. So that one of the questions in some articles I saw pop up in my Facebook was how gaming and the gaming community is not only contributing back via fundraisers, but gaming is providing an avenue to people that are, at home on lockdown to help avoid depression. And then that led me to reading another article where there's been several people out there that have fought depression via gaming because the gaming communities have helped them. There's records where, people in health in situations, the police were able to be called to help somebody that had a heart attack or something and everything. So I'm very interested in what everyone's ideas, thoughts, and perspectives are on how gaming is a positive influence, not an addictive influence, but a positive influence that helps combat depression, especially right now as we're stuck in home and not allowed to go anywhere. So I'd be really interested in anybody's feedback, not only the podcast, but the audience as well.
Well, not all of us are actually stuck at home though either.
Yeah.
Well, you're essential.
Super
exactly.
essential.
So we still.
Well, there's a strong difference between being essential and being stuck at home, because technically we are supposed to be home, but if you come to the state that I live in, everybody's still out anyway.
Yeah.
Granted, if you cough in the wrong direction, you're gonna get looked at like the bastard child. But trust me.
On the whole, people recovering from depression and everything like that. There's a guy. He was really, how do I put the word? He was very incendiary on Facebook, Instagram, social media a while back. John Burke, a former, Army drill instructor, drill sergeant, whatever, all that. Well, he decided to use his platform and create this community for, veterans with, people with PTSD, depression, everything like that. And, he gets donated money and he goes and buys, Xboxes, PlayStations, computers, and everything like that, and sends it to these people. And, has like an entire community surrounding it. And it's like, I think that's pretty freaking dope because, a lot of people, there's still somewhat a little bit of a stigma around gamers, like, being, some weird dude in his mom's basement. But, the reality of it is, I mean, every one of us met, via gaming.
Yeah.
We're all pretty good friends. And, we all are functioning members of society that are, productive for the most part.
You said functioning, not contributing.
Yeah.
Notice
some of us, we contribute, but some of us in our own way hurt. But so I don't know. I feel like I feel like gaming can be a conduit, for a lot of good.
Exactly, Spider. I think it is. I mean, for me, I'm not gonna lie. I've had some depression, past experiences and stuff. Gaming got me through a lot of it. A divorce, my World of Warcraft buddies. I was not gaming at the time. When I went through a divorce a long time ago, but I started gaming, and those guys helped me get through a really tough time because I knew I was going to lose my mind when I started understanding what they were telling me. We get to that level of just being down, and you get to come back and you play with friends you hadn't talked to in years. It really does help quite a bit, and I think from the aspect, and also having gone through as a scuba instructor in a dive master situation where we worked with Wounded Warriors program to help vets that were coming back from combat situations that had been wounded pretty bad. A lot of them, they have got great attitudes to come out and do all that, but they, having talked to a few of them, some of their struggles was leaving the house after those injuries because they didn't know how people were going to look at them. Because it got to the point where if you were missing a leg or an arm or something, people typically thought it was an injury that happened in the military. And at that point, a lot of the military guys were looked at sometimes positively and sometimes negatively. Just depends on the spin that the media was giving it at the time. So those guys were held up. They usually were inside their house, being a little bit introverted. They were playing games, and a lot of those guys, there's a couple of them I still have on my Xbox. I don't play much on the Xbox anymore, but, so Burke I was familiar with and their efforts to get things out there, especially if you're working on brain trauma, the hand-eye coordination and stuff that gaming does require.
Yep.
It's pretty interesting.
Love it.
Yeah. For me, I'd say also community is like one of the big things that I learned over the past couple of years that gaming can help, especially on depression. And it's not so much that like the community is going to directly help you with yours, but it's more that like as we go about our lives, we have the day-to-day monotony, banality that we can experience with work and life and all that. Gaming's always been this positive thing for me to kind of enjoy and engage with in a positive way, right? That's escapism in a bit, not losing sense of my responsibilities or my reality, but always have something to kind of look forward to on the weekends or with friends. That was still kind of me, despite all of the kind of stuff and work and all that was moving on.
And I think that's the big word people don't realize is that your online friends, granted they are online friends, are still your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
People think like these interactions we have are useless, but as coming from Geek knows this, we had a cancer scare with one of our good friends.
Yeah.
And we were all legitimately worried. It's not like, oh, it's just some dude I know online. Like, he'll be fine. Like, we were all legitimately concerned that he was going to die. And it hurt all of us a little bit to think that it would happen. Yeah. And people just don't realize that your relationships, they may be online, but they are still real.
So real.
You still talk to each other and everything. So when something happens to somebody, you're really worried about, like, if any of us were to stop chatting with each other, and it just like a week goes by, you haven't heard from them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what's up, bro?
You get worried.
that sense.
How are you?
Worried, just like, hey, dude, you dropped off. Are you?
Because
are you still alive?
in our case, Angle, we actually did have somebody that did pass away that we did play with on Xbox. His name was Blindsight. Just one day, he was playing with a buddy of ours online, and that was it. Otto probably remembers Blindsight, but yeah.
Yeah, we've had that.
I mean, it's little things like that. Like, you still feel something for it because, like, spent years talking to each other.
Yeah.
And over
it's
time,
just something people don't talk about. They're just always like, oh, your online friends are so stupid. Like, you don't actually know these people. Like,
well,
yeah, I tend to know. I tend to know some of the online
more than I want to about you guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, sometimes
you know more about her.
As I said when we did our very first podcast, one of the things I love most about all of this is the lifelong friends that I have made over gaming. And I will argue with anybody out there. I feel closer to some of you guys than I do some of the people that live just down the street from me.
Oh, that's 100%. Some of you guys check on me more than my actual friends do.
We probably check on you more than your parents. So, I mean...
oh, man.
It's not respect, though. Like, people just don't talk about this side of gaming, and it's something that people really...
No, I mean, there's a huge side of gaming that, like, like for this instance right here that we're talking about. Like, some of us check on each other, check in, see how everybody's doing, talk back and forth more often than, like, I've got a buddy that I haven't talked to in, like, 3 years. I send him, like, we send, like, maybe 2 messages a year to each other, if that. Sometimes a lot less.
Jay, I gotta say, you've been really good about that personally, like in the past, like especially for me, like there have been times when we haven't gamed as much together, but you've still reached out, even if we weren't in the same clan or whatever, right? And help kind of pull me back in.
It's still people that I found enjoyment playing with, still people I got along with. So
still trying to figure out Otto, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get there. It takes time.
I think he
grows on you.
Yeah,
of course.
I
will have to say the very first video conference we had, and we saw the mustache, and I called him Magnum. I was like, okay, he's
his bad jokes, right, German? Oh, that's what we keep him for, German. Yeah, the bad
there you
jokes.
go.
Not for his gaming, but his bad jokes.
Hey. My Titan jumping in Destiny is so good, so good.
You don't want to mention jumping for Geek.
No,
you don't want to see my warlock jumping.
I have it down to an art.
I will say, with the Elite 2, my jumping has gotten
robes.
much better because I programmed, because you can pro the bottom bumpers, so I now have 2 different types of jumps, so it's a lot easier.
So he'll have the regular jump and the clutch jump?
Yeah, the clutch.
Just in case he needs it?
Well, because this one, so it's now the middle finger now does most of my really good jumps, so... I can blame my.
I remember when he told me he was bad at jumping. I was like, "Oh, you can't be this terrible."
I did see him make that jump on that jump on Doom though. First time you got it.
I've been practicing.
The real test for any jumping in any video game is the King's Fall raid in Destiny 1.
Oh, dude, sword. Oh, load up a sword and climb the wall.
Raid, man.
Screw that. I'm climbing up the wall with the sword. I'm climbing the wall with the sword. No ifs, ands, or buts.
I will pop a bubble and knock you back down.
I have distinct memories of like sweating, being the last one to jump up that thing in the King's
DDoS
Fall.
your box.
Like you need a rag to wipe the sweat after doing that jumping puzzle because it's so stressful.
Like one of them sham wows and wipe it.
What I love the most about that one is I could, if you waited long enough, I could do the jumps up, but I would climb that wall with the sword, and then we would go through the door, and you had the rock off to, I think it's on the left-hand side that you had to jump on, you jump on another one and jump up to get to the next area. I could do that one with no problems. And these guys that would just blaze up the wall, lickety-split, without any problems, you go into that one room, I would just watch them fall over and over and over, and I'm just like going, and you guys give me crap about having jumping skills. I learned the workarounds.
My favorite.
So happy they put line ramparts in.
Oh yeah,
go towards the
doing the Last Wish raid with Geek. Just the ribbon kill.
We've done that one a few times.
You know the jumping puzzle at the end of Ribbon?
I just dump. I wait for you guys to get past it, and then I respawn. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have to do the jump. Only one of us have to make it. Doesn't have to be me.
That's a good. I mean, that's totally true.
That's one of those puzzles where it's not dependent upon me completing it as an entire squad. If it depended upon me and a whole entire squad making it, I'd be like, I'm going to orbit. Pull me back.
Just don't bring Geek into the menagerie encounter where you have to go in a circle.
Ooh, speaking of, we need to do a heroic for Bunny to get his catalyst. Sorry.
So he can shard it?
No, the catalyst for Izzy's. So he can shard it, yeah.
It's not even as much worth it as it used to be with how Izzy's has been nerfed and all the snipers going on.
Yeah, but you could still use Izzy in like the Pit of Heresy and stuff. It's definitely not your DPS gun, right? But
yeah.
The easiest way to win the Pit of Heresy is a little trade secret. 2 anarchies and a 1K.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you'd have to actually have anarchy and not shard it.
The one that gave me the most...
This is true.
Shout out, Bunny.
The most difficult
Never going to live that down because it was the first week of Shadowkeep.
Spires is bad.
That jumping, and that's not just me being bad. That sucked for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
So...
I think King's Fall was my downfall on Destiny jumping puzzles.
Pun intended.
Literally.
What's next on the agenda?
It was my King's Fall.
Yeah, if we wanted to get a bit back on topic, I think we want to talk a little bit about like lessons learned for the first couple months of the podcast. Is that a good topic?
Yeah.
We'll just round robin it, man. Just whoever wants to go first. Because I've got a few that I
no light shows for Angle while we're live streaming.
I have a good amount of my own lessons learned.
Yeah, I mean, one
always
thing that
a drink
I know
supply
we've learned was, lighting our mics and sounds, for settings.
Camera quality is a huge one.
Mine's bad right now. Sorry, guys.
Everybody needs to understand. Hurt was really concerned. He was like, "Is it better for me not to come on the show since I'm not where my good stuff is?" Because he has a separate location, like a bat cave off-site somewhere, that his rigs are set up at. And I was like, we don't really care as long as
he's got a bunker down in the ground.
Yeah, he's got a bunker.
He's got a repurposed military silo for missiles.
Yep,
that's
exactly.
But I told him as long as we can see you and hear you and you're presentable and you're doing what you can to make it presentable, I would much rather have you on than not have you on because he was, and I'm going to give him very big kudos for this one. He's like, because he wants to be there for his family. He doesn't want to upset his better half or his kids and stuff. And I say, family first, 100% each and every single time. The moment the podcast or any type of gaming starts creeping over my family time, I'm done. So I give him kudos for that one. Stop blushing, dude.
Oh no, she like looked at me. She's like, what?
I mean, but also highlights like communication is I think something that we're learning, not just internally amongst ourselves, but also with our family and responsibilities. Because as content creators, we want to maintain a consistent schedule so that our audience knows when to find us, right? You guys can tune in and rely on that, and that it's not like wishy-washy if we're showing up one week or the next and so on. But communication definitely.
You don't want to be lazy about it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if you're going to do 100%. Need a schedule.
It's a commitment. It's like I give kudos to my wife because she knows that we're doing every Friday, and she's been really on board with that one. So she knows that I close the door on Friday night, and it could go 2 hours, and it could go 2.5 hours. So some of you don't realize we get together a half hour before the show goes live to make sure we're all on the same page and everything's in working order. Every now and then we have technical difficulties like tonight. Thanks, Mitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a couple on the social media side I can hit on too. So I've been doing most of the Twitter stuff, and in my day job, I work more for like a marketing tech company. So I'm trying to think through like how to grow a Twitter, but also grow followers on Mixer, on YouTube, and so on. And I think like one thing I quickly learned is that spreading my time or my commitment to something too wide was detrimental. Like in the early stages of the content creation, really focusing on one particular channel or one thing really helped focus some of my time or interest. And it also helped when we had multiple ones of us to share the load, right? So we have a couple people managing each of the social medias, somebody managing the Discord, and so on, was really impactful. In terms of Twitter though too, go ahead, Angle.
No, go ahead, you're good.
What I was trying to think of was because I'm trying to think about how do we grow the show beyond just the initial group. And I'm trying to break it down into like an awareness, a consideration, and decision kind of aspects, because there's likes and exposures in different types of tweets. So as I'm thinking about how I put things out there, I'm trying to weigh if do I go for things like hashtags? Do I try and create memes and stuff like that to attract attention? I think like ultimately what I learned was most effective was timing. The most popular tweets I had to try and get the brand and the Twitter handle out there was ultimately based on like replying to things as they happened, and not necessarily like me just posting ad hoc or trying to use hashtags to really get out there. It was just paying attention to Bungie's Twitter handle, content creators out there, and being active and replying to those things was the best I could do to like get that awareness element out there.
I think it's very interesting playing on that one. How many people think or have the idea that, oh, they're just turning on a camera and going? That is so
definitely not.
5 or 10 years ago, when there was a lot less competition, a lot less people trying to stream, any given point in time, there's 50,000 something new streamers trying to get into the whole business. I guess it is, because it is at the end of the day is a business.
Well, yeah, we want to grow,
marathon,
right?
And the amount of work that goes into it's like Otto was saying, we split up the responsibilities of who does what amongst ourselves. So we have, someone's responsible for Facebook, someone's responsible for Instagram, someone's responsible for the YouTube and the streaming, and someone's responsible for Twitter, and someone's responsible for just fostering conversations with other platforms and other creators and everything else. And I give Jay kudos for this one. That dude networks very, very well on Twitter. He is a networking fool, but all across the board, we try to spread those out because some of us are trying to get our own streams and our own brands up and going. And I can tell you, between trying to do a regular full-time job and between doing those and then doing this, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. And I keep it fun because I don't want to get burned out. I play a lot of games. I have found that it opens me back up to being able to follow those games. Because like Jay will tell you right now, I am freaking torn like crazy. I've got till the 26th to get Final Fantasy VII done, Persona Royal 5 or 5 Royale done, and everything, because Trials of Mana comes out on the 26th, and I want to play that one. And people are like, well, were you upset that Amazon pushed back New World? And I'm like, no, I get more time to play.
Sword Art Online Alicization comes out too.
Yeah, no, it's in the same days.
And that's why the content calendar keeps you honest, though, because you do have a lot there. How do you, Geek, how do you choose to manage some games more than others? Like, what's the prioritization look like for you?
Level of fun. And give me a minute.
What's important, though?
This is going to be very interesting. Engel might find this one interesting as well. And how much my family or my kids interact with it. This is going to be really interesting. There's a reason I no longer play Division 2. It's not because I did not enjoy the game. It is not because I thought it stopped having content. When my 5-year-old and my 7-year-old started walking around dropping the F-bomb, and I asked them where they heard that, and they said, it's from that game you're playing, because that game is riddled with profanity. I realized
every NPC curses every 5 seconds.
Right? That I'm going to have to play that late at night if I want to play it. There's no way I'm ever going to be able to stream it because my kids watch my YouTube. If my YouTube and my mixer are not able to be watched by my kids, it's a big problem. Now, some of the games I play, I'm going to tell them, hey, I really prefer you not, because like Final Fantasy VII, there's very few of them. It does have 1 or 2 profanity words in there, very well placed. They're very far and in between, but so. It's balancing in that and how much fun I have with it. Final Fantasy I grew up on, so I'm loving that one. Persona 5 Royale, never played it before. This dude with this beard in this channel here got me hooked on it. I'm really enjoying it. I really would have probably gotten
Which one? Which guy with the beard?
The real beard.
The only one with the real beard.
Gimli. But I would have finished it my first playthrough, except that kidney stone, man, took me out. I mean, I was really into it, really enjoying it. And then we started talking about No Man's Sky when we saw the mechs come back in. My kid has done hours on his. I've done a few on ours. Jay and I, we played for like an hour with Otto, then he disappeared on us.
and never came
It
back.
never came back.
That seems to be a recurring theme with Otto. I'm glad I haven't added him on Xbox.
So, but no, it's just a level of fun that I'm trying to figure out.
Especially because he hasn't accepted my request on Instagram.
I don't even want to talk about the amount of time I've spent on No Man's Sky in the past week.
I mean, we can look at
Hey, I got 4 hours on No Man's Sky, and that's not nothing.
Let's see. I re-downloaded it last week. I have about 45 hours in it.
Yeah, you win. Okay. But going back to lessons learned, one of the things that I'm still struggling with, and I'm going to be completely candid on this one, is when you go into a venture like this with your friends, something that we didn't do that I really wish we would have done, and hindsight being 2020 does not fix it, and it makes it more difficult to now overcome, is you set up expectations, roles, responsibilities, and discuss exactly what you want to accomplish and what direction you want to go, and make sure that as you set it up, that you try to put preventers in place that would impact friendships. And that's something we're still dealing with. It's still something I'm still dealing with. You guys will notice, and I'm going to come out and say it, you guys will notice that Unit's not on the stream anymore. We had a creative disagreement, and it's not for his fault. It's not for our fault. I do wish that we could get through that and start having those conversations again, because I do like Unit. I think he's a good guy. He has a creative notion. He has a passion for the games that he does play, and that's something that I learned the hard way. Or we learned as a team, that because we just jumped into this, none of us knew any better. We had never done anything on this level before. Everything that come from it, and that is my biggest, hardest lesson learned, is if you do go into this, because I know a lot of the guys that are watching this and the gals are into streaming, and they're trying to, they might be dabbling with it, or they might be trying to make it a solid go. If you do bring in your friends or your family, be very completely honest and candid with them. Don't worry about hurting their feelings, saying, hey, this is what I want to accomplish. This is how we need to make it accomplished. These are what I hope to see. What do you want out of it? Get everything written down on paper, and everybody an agreement to how to make that happen. And if you can do that in the first couple of weeks, first couple of planning sessions, that will save you a whole lot of misunderstanding, a whole lot of frustration down the line. So, yeah. Sorry, I had to say that. So I'll turn it over to you guys.
That's good you did.
It's a fair point, though. Like, if you're bringing people into it, you got to get that idea ready, just so something happens and it's not a surprise to everybody. You have to be prepared for those unexpected events.
Yep.
If you're not ready for those disagreements, it's not going to be as successful for you at all.
Yeah.
And it's a bigger picture kind of thing. It's still something that bothers me today. I'll just be honest on it. It does bother me. I don't know if I'll get the friendship back, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was difficult for us too, because there were some of us didn't have those strong friendships before we started the venture in a way. Like, we knew each other, right? But like maybe you and I had met each other once or twice, but Hurt and Angle, right? Like, I hadn't met you guys before.
Nope.
So you guys had to learn my personality and so on. And then we had to also find an agreement for what we wanted the show to be, right? Too. And that takes time.
That's the one thing people don't know, is it's like, this is not easy. It'll always be something that takes a good amount of effort and time. Like, you have to treat streaming and work like this as a second job.
Yeah.
You want to still have fun with it, but you still have to, for it to be successful, you still have to treat it as such, or else it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of why you started in the first place.
Yeah, we all want to do this because it's fun. We enjoy this. But man, the amount of work that's behind the scenes to do everything, like, I just signed up for some online classes to get better at graphics and video editing, not to be a designer, but just so I can do a better job at editing my videos and putting little things and transitions and stuff in. I don't have the money to go pay a graphics artist to do that for every single video that I want to upload or every little thing that I do. And I have a little bit extra capital to do stuff with. I can't imagine, someone that's 16 years old getting started in this, trying to figure that all out. It's not like, as I said before, 10 years ago, when this was all new technology. This is all a new thing. And these guys that have these huge followings were able I'm just going to turn the game on and play. Now it's, I don't know.
It's a different time now.
Yeah. And this is the old guy. I'm the old man in the group here.
I got a couple other social ones I want to hit on too, just for everybody that's kind of growing their own channels in here. A couple things I recommend to create, like maybe an hour a week where you just create some stuff to share on social media. This could be like memes, clips, stuff like that, but have a small like library of things, because that makes that timing piece I was talking about so much easier. If you can just reach into this pool and send a thing out, while it'd be ideal to do like all your social media posting ad hoc, if you want to kind of be ready for the right time to post something, you got to have some content there. And then also, don't be afraid to schedule things in advance. There's plenty of social media tools out there where you can schedule something the day before, the day of, and so on, so that you're not worried about posting social and promoting as you're going live. Go in with a clean slate on your content when you're streaming, and then just let the stuff you scheduled ahead of time take care of itself. I find that's like tremendously helpful when I remember to schedule in advance. And then the final one is just like be aware of hollow followers. So there's going to be spam, fake followers, like
sex
porn bots on Twitter. Delete them, report them, especially early on. Know what your like true following is and understand what your base is. And I think like that'll really help, because you obviously want to grow beyond that, and you don't want to have like 100 followers on Twitter and have them not tune in for any shows.
Yeah,
it's German.
They're bots.
They're probably Germans bots. So like, let's be honest here.
German's just sending us all the spam.
So. Quick
German
segue.
Says, hey now, Otto.
German, have you seen the speculation? Now, Nintendo came out and said they're not releasing any consoles this year. So no Switch 2.0. But did you see that there's speculation now, based on a couple of leaks, that the new Switch will have 2 screens?
Did you see that Crysis is coming to the Switch?
Crash.
It.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the Switch is going to handle Crysis.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's good.
Question for Switch owners, though. How do you guys feel about shooter games, things like that, on Switch versus if most of us have other consoles or PCs? Do you guys do those on Switch?
I've never played a shooter on Switch.
Shooter game on a Switch. I don't think it's...
That's what I'm saying. Me neither. Like, so while I appreciate the novelty of getting a lot of these like shooter remakes, BioShock Infinite might be one I try there, but I'm torn, because like something like Crysis, shouldn't I just play that on Xbox?
Yeah, it's like at what point would you change the console to? Like, you be playing Call of Duty on a Switch?
Yeah.
I mean,
or The Witcher 3.
I'm more along the line what German says. I'm strictly Nintendo stuff, but I'll do RPGs and MMO stuff, kind of platforms on the Switch, because for me the Switch is mobile, and I don't necessarily want to be grouped with anybody. Or if I'm walking around the house, or I'm driving, I have intermittent cell phone signal or internet or whatever, I like the Switch that's standalone. That's me if I want to be solitary, or if I want to have my kids come visit my island in Animal Crossing. Yes, I said it. Then they can. But yeah, something like Jay and I were talking about earlier is like, because we're talking about TVs versus monitors and aspect ratios, and there was a conversation.
Few hours talking about this.
One of the guys in Mesa's Discord was asking about monitors, which ones to get, what ultra wide versus widescreen. So many of the older games, and even some of the newer but not brand new games, don't really support that ultra wide. So I haven't really looked at getting into any of those, and I have until they develop better. So I really don't know how the Switch handling Crysis is going to go. Unless they're
definitely going to have to scale it down.
Unless they do something like they're going to use like the back end, like xCloud, or like Amazon's. I know it's rumored that they're going to be partnering with the Amazon. I don't remember the nickname or the code name for the Amazon gaming cloud that they're developing. That's supposed to squash Stadia. We're going to see a lot of interesting technology over the next 18 months.
Okay, so it says Crysis Remaster will focus on the original game's single-player campaigns and is slated to contain high-quality textures and improved art assets. An HD texture pack, temporal anti-aliasing, SSDO, SVOGI, state-of-the-art depth fields, new light settings, motion blur, parallax occlusion mapping, particle effects will also be added where applicable. Further additions such as volumetric fog and shafts of light,
Nice
software-based ray tracing, screen space reflections, like are they going to be able to handle that?
I don't know. It really don't, because you guys got to remember, Crysis was originally one of those games that people would
Can
use
it run
for
Crysis?
benchmarking a brand new gaming system.
There's still some high-end rigs, even nowadays that start smoking on it. Like,
I already opened it, German. It should pop up on the stream here in a minute.
Oh, it did.
I was just joking about that.
But yeah, I'd be very interested to see how it handles it. But I do see we're going to see a shift. Like I can't wait for the new, because one of the reasons I really don't enjoy so much playing on the Xbox or the PS4 anymore is they can put all the beauty into the game. Final Fantasy VII Remake is gorgeous. It's very well done. The graphics are
but you're capped
awesome.
at 30 FPS.
But the frame rates in some of the aspect ratios is driving me freaking bonkers. It's like if I go play Destiny 2 on it,
I literally get ill.
I get lost.
I can't do it. Yeah, I get ill.
So I have to go back. And that's like I was telling Jay, Phantasy Star Online 2, by the way, everyone needs to go play. It's free to play. It's now live. It's no longer beta. Come play it with us. We'll power level you. We'll get some stuff going. It's a lot of fun.
Guys, should I download that? Is that?
Oh, you want to install
But
it?
it's supposed to come to PC in a month or so, right, Jay? Next month?
Next month.
And then I'm going to transition over to PC because one of the things I'm having problems with is the frame rates, and I can't wait to see what that game plays like on a PC.
Yeah,
I was
wait
always
till it's
always a
on PC
long
myself.
time
It's
PC gamer.
next month sometime. I don't remember if they actually have a date for it.
My
or not.
question is,
That's
are the accounts going to transfer though?
Yes,
Yes.
it's cross save and cross play.
Yeah, they talked about it already. That's why I was telling you to come play it.
The future.
I'm still waiting on one game to do cross save. It's the only game left that I care about. Warframe.
That's never going to happen, but I wish to
God. No, it is.
I know.
It is going to happen.
I'm being
They've already
sarcastic
announced it.
because I have so much stuff on my Xbox.
You have no idea the amount of money I've spent in Warframe, dude.
And it feels like a game that should, right?
He could have had so many car parts if he wouldn't have bought all that stuff on Warframe.
You could have taken your girl out to more dinner and bought her perfume.
Oh,
and
More
makeup.
Taco Bell.
Taco
Eric,
Bell.
Taco
this
Bell.
whole angle
I am
is digging
now
himself
craving, I am
on the
freaking craving Taco Bell, you jerk.
Hey, crunchy Fritos burritos, good.
Hey, look,
guess
open
what?
late.
Well, guess what? You know what goes on the pit at 3:00 in the morning? I had 3 pork shoulders, 2 briskets, and then at 10:00 I'll be putting 4 racks of ribs on.
Where is my
Can you-
invite? I'm 4
can you
hours away.
Send some ribs. Send some
So
ribs this
if
week.
people are asking, that's a lot of food. We're actually donating some of it because I have a food handler's license and permit because I do competition barbecue. But we take the shredded pork and we take some of the brisket and we put them in vacuum seal bags because I have freezer bags. You vacuum seal them, throw them in the freezer, and then if you get a big old pot of boiling water, you can just drop the vacuum sealed meat in there without opening it, boil it for 30 minutes. It rewarms the meat, and you just pour it into a bowl or serve it right out of the bag. No mess, no fuss. It is a quick, easy dinner. But we're doing pulled pork tacos tomorrow night on
Nice.
corn tortillas. So,
Now you're making me hungry for pulled pork. What is this? I need barbecue now.
Well, you made him want
you
Taco
started
Bell,
with
so.
the dang Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
started it, bro.
I'll give you
Hey.
that one. I got you on the Taco Bell. You got me on the barbecue.
All right, so Angle, you need to go start a GoFundMe apparently to get your girls some Fritos.
No, it's the Taco Bell Fritos burrito.
Huh?
It's got
What is
Fritos. It's got Fritos in the burrito.
Mind blown.
What sort of white people
The crunch?
stuff is this?
It's going for the crunch, huh? Or is it the flavor?
Wow.
The tacos
I
made
mean,
out
I'm
of
okay with both.
corn.
It's a soft taco.
I'm being sarcastic. I get you.
I was gonna say. I was worried there for a second.
It's like the Dorito tacos, man. I'm
Off.
good with that. So,
Those are good though.
but yeah. Anyways, yeah, they're good for late. No, we used to, yeah. But yeah, I wanna
Family
get-
stream, geek. Family stream.
Yeah, I wasn't going there, you sick son of a gun. Yeah,
You had me there. I thought you were gonna drop it. Yeah.
No, I didn't. I'm really looking forward to the Xbox 5 Series X and because, and the PS5. I don't think I'm gonna get a PS5. I really don't. I honestly, I at this point don't think I'm gonna get one. Not right away.
The Xbox is going to be Xbox 5 though.
Yeah, but the Xbox Series X, the Xbox 10,
Xbox 10.
Dude.
So wait, hold on. Then the Xbox I have is the Xbox 110. Because I have a 1X.
Yes.
You have a beta.
Yeah.
You have a beta.
The beta.
I'm done.
Also,
English is hard, man.
How many people in this channel know what beta is that are watching?
Man.
Like the term
beta versus VHS. Betamax. Yeah, there you go.
Not personally.
Yeah.
Of course, German would.
I say, of course you would, German.
Yeah. Dude, I had a Laserdisc player. I can't talk. I had a Laserdisc player growing up.
Keep going, dude. Keep
going. This is a blooper reel.
The first movie I had on Laserdisc.
Oh man.
Was
English
Starman,
is hard for geek today.
And then Tron. Tron was the first really movie I bought because it was supposed to be.
This is all thanks to Hurt.
Yeah,
it was
Xbox 5 and Laserdisc.
Yeah, dude.
Just makes me think of dodgeball.
You can dodge the wrench. Apparently, I didn't dodge the wrench.
No, dude, you hate it.
You
hate it.
It all started with Taco Bell.
Yeah.
They put something in the
Blame me if you want.
Lord. All right, Otto, what's next?
So, I'm thinking if we have any other game topics, let's hit that. If not, we'll do maybe a little bit of Destiny League talk, and then we can wrap up short tonight. We don't have to go too long unless we got some extra stuff, or obviously for chat. If there's any games in particular that did come up this week, let us know. We're happy to discuss them as well.
Well, you got our lovely No Man's Sky in Minecraft, because I know Hurt's going to be flipping if he doesn't get to talk about
let's do that.
Minecraft.
Let's do that next.
Exactly where I was
definitely.
Gonna go. So I am super happy that we get to talk about Minecraft because of all the games I've played in my entire life, maybe excluding Skyrim, I've put thousands and thousands of hours.
It's a number higher than he can count.
Yeah, I can only count to 4 though. So
I got 3.
1, 2, 4, potato. No, I've played so much Minecraft, and Bunny got it, so I'm super stoked. Stormy got it, so I'm even more super stoked. Like, all of my friends are starting to get Minecraft. I'm gonna slowly drag them in with my claws.
I've already had it.
We'll never leave Minecraft. And okay, so I will send you a mod list and the forge and all that, and then you'll have to come jump on the. We have a family server that we've been doing for.
Are you going to give them the real reason you want to talk about it? Or are you going to suspense us to death?
Yes. Well, it was kind of leading into it. So, played for thousands of hours, like years of my life. I've been playing this game. I just love it so much. It's so much fun. You can literally do anything you want. Like, your imagination is literally your limit. And they got all these.
I don't think he realized it yet.
No, he hasn't.
No. What did you do to me now?
Nothing. Keep going, dude.
Nah, dude. I don't know. I'm nervous now.
What
fine.
Happened? You're fine.
What happened?
We're just waiting for you to get to the reason you're super excited about Minecraft. What
Why
changed?
You get to talk about
Why
Minecraft?
is Minecraft changed? What did they?
Oh, the
change?
RTX.
There you go.
Hold on.
Which is ray tracing, which is gonna make it gorgeous. It's so beautiful. I'm sorry.
Finally got there, boys.
It's so beautiful.
Congratulations.
Like, you have to start baby steps. It started out ugly as crap. Minecraft was honestly kind of ridiculous looking.
It was built in bit, man.
Yeah, man. And now though, like with the RTX and just like,
did you get the RTX ray tracing enabled?
You told me about it earlier. I've been running errands ever since we got back.
Because I did.
I threw food at that one. I threw food.
She's gonna throw it at you. It wasn't Taco Bell, was it?
No, it was. We made some. What was that macaroni salad together yesterday? It was fire with her family's recipe.
Okay.
So I had to throw food at her, and then we started doing this. So I've not yet had the chance to, but I've been watching videos and everything like that. And I'm say every time, whenever you go and watch a video talking about the Minecraft ray tracing, please don't think that the texture packs and shaders are the ray tracing.
They're not.
That's not it.
All this is lighting overlay.
Lighting overlays. So you see the light filtering through the window. And the glow around the torches, that is the ray tracing, not the water looking real.
The reflections on the water could be impacted by the ray tracing. I'll say that.
Yes.
I did it for about 30 to 40 minutes earlier. And
how do you feel about it?
Yes. Now, here's the challenge. If Hurt would love to share the difference, since he hasn't loaded it yet, will he ever stream? Do a before and after?
Oh, Minecraft?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I would.
Are you? That's what I'm asking.
Is it like? Do I have it planned?
Yeah.
He's asking, are you going to do
Are
it?
you going to stream, or am I going? Okay. Because if you're not going to, I will. But I'm not going to step on your toes.
No. If you're.
This is me encouraging you to start streaming.
Hey, listen, buddy. She dipped so fast.
Gone. When that camera goes off, Hurt, you're done.
Oh yeah, no, guys. So listen, her name is Samantha. No, don't do it, please don't.
Right, we'll just run the show super long now, so that
Does she throw something at you?
Okay,
all I know is
really fast.
The object you had prior to us going live.
No. No, so she got some chickens, and they're getting big enough to where they're almost able to go outside. And we have them in like this cute little playpen with the zip closed top, and she went and grabbed one and was going to throw it at me.
We could hear him.
Yeah. She was going to assault me with the chicken.
Assault with a deadly chicken.
Yeah.
With an intent to egg.
Heard anybody say,
Instead of getting
I have to worry about assault with a chicken.
See? Help!
Make it poop on him. Make it poop on him. What, do you have a fear of chickens?
Are you scared
Will we get censored for that?
I don't know, maybe.
Dude, I used to raise chickens when we grew up in the mountains.
Yeah.
Them things can get freaking mean.
Hey, I've only got like 40 of them outside.
My grandma had a
I won't go like 40 of them out, right?
Yeah, my grandma had a
Sounds about
rooster
right.
called Solomon. And that thing was to 6-year-old.
Thank you for that.
Huge. And I had, I was afraid of chickens for a while. That's why I don't mind eating them.
The new spirit animal. Press with the join.
No, that's Hurt's spirit animal is a chicken.
That's Hertz Patrona.
Patrona? English is hard, huh?
I muted myself. Okay, sorry. This has been like an animal
Minecraft
podcast already.
building.
Yeah. Really fast though.
Cool looking
So Samantha
things.
has this really old,
in Minecraft.
expensive
They
dog
do.
that she
And
won't
bunny
let
rabbits.
die. She now has like this wheelchair thing, so her back legs are suspended and she has wheels, and she somehow just rolled over.
She rolled over the chicken.
Oh,
Your
the
dog crashed and
Yeah,
burned?
the dog just
He
went,
has a disabled dog.
Go help
and
the
it's
dog.
a-
What are you doing? Go help the dog.
No, she's helping her right now, but she just keeps like,
All right, dog needs a guest appearance.
hey, bring Molly here. Yes. Come here. Bring Molly here.
Can we petition to rename him Hot Wheels?
Hey, so apparently we have a new petition to rename her.
Well, if it's influenced by a Hurt Locker, wouldn't it be Mater?
Yeet Wheels, huh? We'll name her Turbo. Okay.
That's a slug.
Sorry. Hey, actually, the boys love that movie. It's actually a
So
pretty
do
funny
mine.
movie.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a great movie. Sorry, I've derailed this too many times. Minecraft
Where's the
ray
dog?
tracing.
What
It's
is this?
beautiful. What?
I said, "Where's the dog? What is this? We need
We're
this
waiting
guest
on the
appearance."
dog.
Hey, yo, they really want the guest appearance from the dog, homie.
Oh,
He's
he
gonna
called
get
his
hit
wife
for that.
homie. She's going to throw the dog at him, wheelchair and all.
Okay,
He's gonna get a wheel to the face.
All right, here it is. Here it is.
Okay. Hi, Mom.
Show them the Hot Wheels.
It's Hot Wheels.
Yeah, that's cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. I'll give you guys kudos for that. Hi, Molly.
Yeah.
We want to
Hi,
rename
Molly.
you Hot Wheels. Good.
She's
Good
some
girl.
sort. Sorry, that is now the dog,
She's better
You
trained
gotta,
than her.
you gotta put some chrome spinners on there.
dude. 20-inch blades on the wheelchair.
Some LEDs and some. Oh my gosh. We just lost our viewership.
Oh man.
Anyway, sorry, I'm done derailing. I'm muting myself.
I need to put some portable speakers on there, some LEDs, and then we could just get the theme song Ishimi rolling.
He's gonna put airbags on it too. I haven't done.
Slam suspension. It's gonna get hydraulic. The dog will just end up twerking.
He stops after to go poop. It just stops, lowers. Oh, that's so much better. He needs to scratch his butt, lowers it, drags him across the carpet.
Guys, I gotta check if this was on the content topics for today. Was this on here? I don't.
Yeah, it was.
It's VR. It's under VR.
We could add.
We've taken my ride away. It's now pinned my
ulcer. The ulcer that I have that's growing from not keeping us on topics just tripled in size.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm so sorry. It's my fault this time.
So,
that was just so fun.
Are you gonna have a chance to stream that soon or anytime
I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I'm starting a new job potentially in a couple weeks, so you may want to just so that we can kind of get it out there.
Okay.
And in the process of moving, et cetera, so on and so forth.
Right. I got to see if I can find time. I got a lot of games I'm already doing.
Yeah,
I'm counting on you Geek, to get me some content for the Insta to post ray tracing on Minecraft.
I will.
That's something Angle could do.
That requires me buying Minecraft.
Well, you told your
you told Karava there.
See, there's a catch to that. Get ready for it. There's the catch to this. She doesn't have a PC.
What does she do? Minecraft on mobile?
Stimulus check. There you go.
The only way she has it is on Xbox.
Stimulus check though.
By the way,
today's you guys are gaming PCs.
Here's the thing.
Be responsible.
Here's the thing. You don't actually have to buy it, Angle. The article I posted earlier shows you how you can play it on your PC via the Xbox Companion, and then you can apply the ray tracing from the video card to the game. I haven't tried that specifically because
PSO2 with the Companion on our PCs.
The Xbox Companion is such a weird app sometimes too. I want to play with my friends that still play Xbox, but I don't want to leave the comfort of my gaming desk.
You won't have to.
She just called you out. Oh, okay. A Mac is not a. Come on now.
She doesn't know.
I almost backed you up there, Karava, but
you lost it when you said Mac.
Hold on.
Yeah, you lost.
I need to ask her, why do you have a Mac?
Yeah.
What do you use the Mac for specifically? I really want to know. This isn't me hating on you. This is the IT, internet, cybersecurity geek in me. I'm very interested.
I have a MacBook Pro and I'm elite. All right, that's why.
Yeah, mine's.
I'm kidding. Work provider.
Hey, look, another look.
Yeah, I've got one. I'm just very curious as to what she's using it for. Was it because of work? Is it because of school? Is she doing? I mean, I'm very curious in the use case, or is it just something she decided she wanted to get a Mac instead of a Windows box? Like my kid brother and his wife, they didn't have a PC; they bought a Mac.
It's a computer.
See her.
Wait. Somebody take a screenshot of Geek's face.
We need to have a talk. You just broke my brain.
This is. I could give you her reasoning in a term you could understand.
Bougie? All right, if you're bougie, then you get like a $4,000 gaming laptop.
Use it for college.
She does use it for college, but the reason is because everybody and their mother here loves Macs, thinking they're the best PC on the market here.
I'm very curious if she's had any. I mean, in the college, because every people I've troubleshooted Macs for in a college environment. We have the University of Texas here in Dallas and all that stuff. They have half the stuff doesn't work because the teachers want it to run on a Windows-based platform.
Hang up the phone here.
So
I could attest to that because we go to the same school, and I have a MacBook that I use for school. And when I tell you, I changed over to online courses purposely because of this, because the tech on Microsoft and Windows is just so much easier to use than it is on Mac.
Yeah, I mean,
because half the stuff doesn't load on Mac, half the programs don't work. They're PC only, and it's just so much easier to use a PC that like.
Well, I can tell you, cybersecurity wise, there's a lot of tools that I
Special
use
guest
on the Mac
appearance
that are great, and I have a lot of stuff on the Windows that I use, but I constantly run into more difficult troubleshooting problems with the Mac. and I'm well versed on all the platforms: Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, iOS, all of that stuff. Yeah, so that's very interesting.
My favorite comparison I think I have in my house is my mom is pro Mac and I am pro PC.
You guys are a commercial waiting to happen.
Oh, I know, right? So we go back and forth because she has a actual desktop from, a Mac desktop. And I have, of course, my beauty gaming PC. And I always go back and forth with her on processing power because hers takes forever to load things.
Yeah, I don't hate on Mac. I really don't have a problem with them. I have a problem with their pricing. I have a problem with their security platform restrictions that make it very tough to get a third-party application on there to do proper security. And then they'll use it for a while. But
they really pioneered the small computer first, though, right? The
did.
MacBook Airs in particular are just easy to use, easy to move around, and the user interface is better than Windows. As a user,
just don't break it.
Right.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree with the ease of use. If people have never used the Mac OS...
I was say, if you never use it, then you're like, what is this?
Right, but that's also because we're somewhat preconditioned to always know Windows, because Windows is a bit more authoritative out there.
So
it was used in
the
so many
IT
other places.
standpoint, I will tell you right now, it is not user-friendly for people that are used to grew up on Windows. Yeah. Okay, my problem with Mac is the fact they're pricing themselves out and their customer service issues. I'm a big, as I said before, huge proponent of right to repair. And Mac is pretty much anti-right to repair. If they want to charge me, they freaking want to charge what was it? They wanted $200 just to put in a hard drive, and if you did it yourself, you're going to void the warranty. It doesn't cost anything to put the hard drive.
I'm totally with you there.
Karava's PC. She and me have the same. Her and I have the same year MacBook. She is the Pro. I just have the regular MacBook.
Yeah.
She takes great care of her laptop. Her screen broke, I don't know how long, it was a couple weeks ago. Her screen broke, everything kind of shut down. To do what they did, I could have built an entire PC for her.
Yep.
For the price it was to fix it. They replaced, I think, the screen and the keyboard. My gaming PC screen, which is better than her Mac screen, and my keyboard, which is way more responsive and way better, both cost less than the repairs on that MacBook. Yeah. I think it came out to about $800.
That rip.
Well, here's another one that I hate. I mean, this isn't most of me hating on Mac. I have a 13-inch MacBook Pro from work. And do you know that it will only support 2 external monitors? That was by design. If you want to get more than 2 external monitors, you must go with the screen size up. You have to. How stupid is that? I can get any Windows freaking laptop out there and I can hook up as many monitors as I want. The hardware might not support it, but I have that option.
I think my favorite
own it.
Problem
Let me do what I want to with it.
Yeah. I think my favorite problem with Apple as a whole will be when I had my iPhone 6. Now, if you guys don't remember, the iPhone 6 has had a lot of problems, and there were a lot of well-known problems. One day, my phone just wouldn't charge. For the life of it, I tried about 20 different chargers, about 30 different cubes. Nothing worked. So I took it to Apple. They were like, listen, your motherboard is shot. You need a whole new phone. It was like, give me 5 minutes. Went to one of those repair places, got my charging port repaired. My phone was brand new. Worked perfectly. Yep. I was like, y'all need to be fired for telling me I need another $900 phone when I just paid $50 and it's working again.
Yeah, I remember the guy. He,
I know how you feel, Angle. My iPhone's actually up there somewhere that probably dead now, but that'll be okay.
The only way to actually get an iPhone or an Apple device is if you have Apple Care. Because it's the only way you're actually going to save any money whatsoever.
Yeah, that's why I just stopped using it anyway, and I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, interestingly enough, while I've been using Apple computers for the past 7 years, I have a 7-year-old MacBook Air that's had no service issues. Battery's certainly dying at this point. And I've been using Macs for my work computers, but I've always stuck with Android as my phone, primarily from a price point perspective. I'll buy $200-$300 a year phones and just simply run through those rather than spend $1,000 every 2 years on a iPhone.
There's a guy named Louis Rossmann. He is a huge advocate for right to repair and everything. And he did a couple videos and a couple calls where he went into like an Apple Center and everything. And they told him it was going to be this. And it was just cheaper for him to buy a new system. And he went home and then he spent like $5 and fixed it himself. And then they told him wrong specs on the hardware. I get where Otto's coming from. I don't want to spend $1,000 on my phone and have to replace it every 2 years. If I spend $1,000, I really expect that phone to last me 3 or 4 years, which they used to do. But one of the things like the right to repair legislation and stuff that's going through like huge in the UK coming here is there's software that the people put on this. Yes, this is my family, by the way, that slowly deteriorate your asset. And all of a sudden you wake up 18 months, 2 years from now, and your phone's running slow. The battery life isn't going all that well. If you reset the phone, it gets some of it back. But they're getting to that point where, and there's apps that come pre-installed that you can never remove. So this registration to say, hey, look, not only want to know how to repair it, not only we want to see schematics on how to repair it, we want the ability to say, we bought the phone, I choose what goes on it and what isn't on it.
Apple's just their system.
German said he had a 6S that he just replaced this year.
I like Apple because I hate the term, but like the ecosystem, like it's all very fluid and it meshes well. Like you got the Apple TV, you got Apple watches, you've got the iPhone,
Apple Pay, you got Apple
like card. Dude, and it's just very I don't even have to pull my wallet or anything out. I can just.
Well, the funny
thing is, I'm going to hack your watch then. I'm going to hack your watch.
Go for it.
And I'll have your credentials. And then I can just piggyback through all your no, I'm just kidding. No, that's cool. I love it. I do love that functionality. I love all the functionality that Apple does. I'm not hating on that. They did pioneer some of it, but Android did the same thing. Everything you just said, I can do on my regular TV. And the better part is because it's a lot of like even Windows, all of a sudden, all my Xbox stuff is transparently across the house. All my media, I don't have to have up another computer or anything. All my Xboxes act as a media server now. I can go through with my watches, my smart watches, everything comes through. Those Androids pretty much fluently sync with Windows and Linux, like Ubuntu and all that other stuff. So it's great. But the second I try to mesh those environments that play well, Linux and Windows, Xbox, even PS4 that play well together in their own network environment, the second I try to port that over or bring in an Apple network, my headache just got real. It's a pain in the rear.
Yeah. My favorite thing about Apple though will 100% be the Genius Bar. Yeah. If you want to talk about a flawed system,
dude, like, did you see the look I just gave you?
The Genius Bar is probably the most flawed. Karava can attest to this. When we went to get her MacBook fixed, I almost got in an argument with a Genius Bar technician because I really want to know how much these people really know about the technology they are, what's the good word for it? Estimating. The expert estimate on what it's going to cost. Because we brought her laptop and her sister's laptop with us, both to make an appointment to send them to Apple to get repaired. She mentioned to the guy that she had a second laptop with us. We needed to also get sent out. He's like, oh, you're going to need to make a second appointment and come back in an hour.
Uh-huh.
We're sitting in front of him.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I stopped myself. I was like, why? I was like, you're right here. Can't you just put this one in the back? It's like, I watched you just type a name, a credit card.
Oh, I believe you, Karava. I've been there. I've done that. I've seen it. Guy went in. We went in for work. We went to get a MacBook, a Mac server fixed, and 2 Apple iPhones, and they made us make appointments for all 3, even though we had a business account.
And I'm sitting there. I'm laughing. I was like, you're joking, right? Like, this is a joke. Like, I literally need to wait here for another hour just for you to go, oh yeah, this is broken. I'm gonna put it in the back.
I don't believe. I would much rather call customer service and set up a thing to where I have someone come to my house or I have to send the box in myself. I'm not going to make to do that. And I pull the IT card and everything else. They're like, well, I'm going to read the script to you now that they gave me to read as a tier 1 guy. And I'm not dissing on customer support. Those guys have a rough job. They're not super trained. They have to read off of a script to answer these certain questions and meet metrics. They have to have times and everything. So I'm not dissing on them whatsoever, but I know for a fact if I get somebody on regular phone from support or if I go into a Genius Bar, Those aren't the guys fixing it. Those are the sales repair guys, and they can do something that I won't say on camera. But I will call in, and like if I'm getting support, I'll say, look, you guys, I'll give them a benefit of the doubt. I'll let them do their thing, and if they're still blowing smoke, and I'm just like, look, this isn't how it's going to work. You're trying to explain something that's not how it works. This is what I have been doing. I'll pull the card out that says, yeah, I've got these certifications. I've been doing this for 26 years. You can just transfer me up to the next level of support because you're completely off the marker, and I'm done playing games. And that's how I feel about the Genius Bar. The Genius Bar is not adequately staffed with educated first level interface. If you're going to have a bar where you have people interface with people, you need to make sure that they're trained and not lying, because you're going to get a professional that comes in there and you're going to get some guy who's, well, this is that, and it's going to be cheaper for you. And you're going to look at him and go, you just completely misdiagnosed the problem. You just completely lied to me what the problem is, trying to upsell because you didn't understand it, nor did you make an effort. And that's where I don't like the Genius Bar. I think it's complete crap.
I mean, and I definitely agree, but like, we can't also say that like every Genius Bar experience is like that, right? That can't be correct forward, right?
But how many people go into the Genius Bar expecting that the people at the counter are going to, and this is where the Louis Rossman guy comes into effect. What's the statistics? How many people have gone in there and they were told, oh, it's just going to be cheaper for you to buy a new phone, when their phone could have been fixed for $20? Those phones are $1,000 to $1,500 now. So why am I going to buy it's cheaper for me to buy a new phone when I just have to have a solder point fixed, or I have to have a little replaceable piece fixed, or I have to have the screen fixed? No, this isn't new technology anymore. 5-10 years ago, when did let's see, 3, 6, I would have said 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, but the micronization and everything now, that's not new. These phones have been around, these smartphones have been definitely around long enough that they've already covered the research and development. In the last 3 years, there's been absolutely nothing new out there except for the foldable screen. So they need to
which is laughable. TV. It's not even talking about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I agree. But yeah, it's a sore subject for me. I just don't like people getting ripped off. I like to put my faith in any of the Microsoft stores, any of the Apple stores or anything like that, that if a person comes in there, they're going to get fair and reasonable support. I don't want to see somebody go in. That's why a lot of people call me. Hey, dude, what do you think about what's wrong with this? Can you take a look at this before I go down there to make sure that if I do go down there, that they're going to give me some sort of reasonable answer. And that's easy enough to do. There's a lot of diagnosis kits out there now that you can run on your phones and your laptops and everything. Are going to give you a pretty good idea diagnostically of what's going on with it. So if you do go into the bar, into the Genius Bar, your Microsoft Store, Outlook, or Apple, whatever it might be, and whatever platform, Verizon or anything for the phones, AT&T, and you get told that, I'm going to call. I have no problem being, hey, dude, I'm going to call BS. You guys are telling me this. This is what I've been reading is happening. Where's your diagnostics? And if they tell me, well, this is my opinion, I say, I don't care about your opinion. I'm not trying to discount it. You're reading off a script. Where did you hook it up that says I have to buy a new phone instead of you guys taking the time to fix it?
And Otto, I mean, I agree. It's not like it's every Genius Bar experience, but you got to really think about that statistic for a moment. Yeah. What amount of occurrences happened for this person to create said YouTube channel and scream on, I've watched his videos before, scream on camera about how broken the Genius Bar is of the system. Yeah. And how many complaints I have read about the Genius Bar and my own experiences from stores all over New York and New Jersey. All these
you just said New York,
problems.
That's your problem.
Well, it's just like,
no, I mean, that's fair. I think, and I don't go to Genius Bars for my tech really. Like I have work Mac stuff, so I can go to my work to get that serviced. What I'm trying to say is, like, I've worked at Best Buy, I've worked in support type roles, and so at the same time, like, I know what it's like to be on the other side of that, when you are given certain, training and knowledge, but then there's also all these like infinite questions that could come at you from a customer perspective in many circumstances. So that's the only where I'm trying to like relate, is that like,
yeah,
there's also people on the other line, right? Like
there's also a what you can and cannot do.
Right. And like, now there's also corporate stuff that you guys are definitely talking about that's super valid there too. I'm just trying to make sure we're not just saying like all Genius Bar people.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not dissing them. As I said before, they got a job to do. I give them kudos because they're actually in there doing a job. They're not freeloading at home, expecting a check or something for doing nothing. I respect anybody that has a job. I don't care what kind of job it is. You can be the garbage guy. You could be the guy at Walmart. You could be the guy at a Genius Bar. You could be the guy at the gas station. You can be the guy that's sitting in the decks next to me. I give you 100% honest to God respect, full on, straight up, because you're taking the initiative to get out of your house, or maybe in this case, work from home with everything going on. But you're actually putting an effort in to take care of yourself and provide for yourself or your family. So I think it's totally cool. So I don't diss on the guys at the Genius Bar. I'm dissing on the policies and procedures that have been laid down by a corporate office that know better and know the statistics, but chose to turn a blind eye to it or say it's worth the risk for the cost assessments and the benefits. We're going to sell more by doing less.
Yeah.
I can go on. This is not the platform to get me going on the right to repair. Because I am 100% an avid supporter.
Fair enough. So I know we're running a bit long here, but I want to kind of ask guys, any final gaming news of notes, things to look forward to in the news this week, which are playing this weekend, before we look to wrap up here?
I'm officially excited to start watching the Xbox Series X release videos because some people have already gotten their hands on it. There are some tech YouTubers that have already gotten it and have already gotten to mess around with it, and I'm excited to actually finally start seeing what's coming out of this long-awaited new console.
Yes, indeed.
I'm just hoping it's going to be worth it.
Going to some positivity,
I'm hoping that the release of those causes Sony to get off their freaking butt and release at least the tech specs and a console design.
Yeah, that's the one thing we have yet to see is a tried and true console design from Sony.
There was one that was floating around yesterday and today, and they're like, oh, this is great. And I was like reading the article, I was like going, this is speculated concept art by people that decided to design one off of the controller that was released. And I'm like going, so that's not from Sony. Well, then I'm just going to completely toss it out the window.
Yeah.
When Xbox released its like images, people were like, oh, it's this giant cube. And I was like, that seems, reasonable for Xbox.
Well, it's because it was for thermals, man. They put it together really, really well.
Yeah.
If you go look at NZTX, they have a micro box in the tower just like that. It's fantastic. So I'm really excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, I would be more than happy to do an unboxing when mine comes, because I'll have one. PS5?
And I will give you at least one view on that.
And I will ray trace play on it.
Fair enough. A couple other gaming notes. Switch did release some hardware updates. I'm not sure if you need to, but you certainly could remap controller buttons, things like that, if you want. I took a look earlier today, and it's super easy in the settings to make those changes.
Yeah, I just use the Pro controller on my Switch, so.
Ooh, is that worth a buy?
To me, it is because I prefer it. Because it's essentially an Xbox controller.
I've been tempted. I'm not going to lie.
I mean...
Pro controllers are always such a tempting purchase.
Nice. Especially on Switch, though, too.
Yeah, it's extremely convenient.
Yeah. A couple other... Yeah, stuff. Nice. A couple other news and notes, though. I did see Borderlands 3 is free to play on the Xbox this weekend and purchasable for $15. I believe that's with everything, the complete Game of the Year edition, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then also Xbox Game Pass has some kind of cool new games coming out. There's some space-oriented ones, but in particular, The Long Dark. I liked that as a survival game. If that's kind of your thing, where you're kind of looking to stay alive, survive in the wilderness, check it out for a free, not free, but on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any news notes?
I have one thing I'd like to give a shout out to. It's kind of weird. All these businesses, the small businesses, are trying to recover. Texas went through it. There's a lot of businesses out there that didn't get the extension loans because they were forced to close, which is a lot of their revenue comes from. My kid brother works at a comic book shop called Madness Comics, and they've got everything set up now to go online. I'm going to share the screen real quick with the store. They had a lot more staff after the reopening. They're doing curbside stuff. A lot of stuff, their employees are on furlough, and they're trying to make get the sales up and everything. So they're in curbside pickups, and they have online presence, Amazon, eBay, and all that stuff. So I'm just giving a shout out. It might be a little shameless on me. I don't want to see the shop suffer or anything. If you have any small businesses that you know of, try to support them. The bigger ones are a little bit more handed off. These smaller ones have been around. They're dependent upon people like us giving support to them. So if you can, and like Madness Comics does not just comic books, but card games and Gundam models and Funk Pop and collectible figurines and all that stuff, and a ton of board games. So just a little shout out to Madness Comics. If you guys have a chance, go check them out.
So they're setting up a nice online cart for it?
They're online. They have stuff on Amazon now. You can go there. They can do shipping from it. You can call and email them. They'll take care of that stuff for those that aren't in the Dallas area. But they are getting that out there. So if you want to check out Madness Comics, feel free to do so. This is part of the older brother in me, making sure that my kid brother's taken care of. But I also am a patron of Madness Comics. They got stuff there that I like to get that I can't get elsewhere. They're like one of the largest comic book shops in the United States, and if they're having this kind of problem, I can only imagine what the other ones are going through.
Yeah,
and then I want to do another shout out on to Spider 2G. If you guys get a chance, he's going to be streaming tomorrow night at 5 p.m. EST on YouTube. Go check him out. He's going to be doing, I believe, a little more Final Fantasy. So if you guys get a chance, check out his stream.
Awesome.
Excellent. All right, guys, we ready for final question?
Yeah. I'm curious to see what you were
me too.
Getting ready from the music topic.
It might not be as good, so I'm going to lower expectations. Hopefully we hit this one home. But right on the music topic that we talked about earlier, if you were forced to do a karaoke song right now, what would that song be?
Ooh.
Give the song and then give where we can find you.
Okay, I got you. Radio Gaga by Queen.
Nice.
Which I think is my all-time favorite song. I haven't decided, but it might be. And you can find me at Angle of Death 39 on both Twitter and Mixer.
Jay, I gotta hear yours.
What's the question?
Country Road's gonna be Jay's watch.
What karaoke song would you choose right now if you were put on the spot and had to do it?
All right, real talk. It'd be Fortunate Son.
That's a good one.
Cool.
That's a good one.
I mean, that's honestly it. That would really be it for me. But you can find me at Unforsaken J on Twitter, Instagram, Mixer.
Awesome. I'll go next. It's going to be This Must Be the Place, Naive Melody by the Talking Heads. And you can find me at Autonomy on Twitter and Mixer.
So, German, what you're saying is it's time to get really drunk?
Well,
yes.
We have a karaoke machine here. So if I had to go on the spot right now, probably Let It Go from Frozen.
Oh,
that's not a bad one, dude. That is a banger of a song.
You know what? I'm starting a GoFundMe page.
Do it.
Sing.
Dude, all right, if we hit 50 followers on our Mixer in the next 2 weeks, Geek is doing that.
You guys just have to realize my daughter will probably join us.
That's okay.
That is fine with me as long as it's live stream.
That one, and there's a song, a Meghan Trainor song from Smurfs Hidden Village that she loves to dance to, and then the Moana song. So if it wasn't those, I don't know, maybe Lean on Me or something. But we do karaoke in the house. My wife's from the Philippines.
That's going to be our new social promotion, Geek. So, really thank you for the idea.
But you can follow me at GMD Geek on any of the platforms, any of the profiles. I am there. Or hit me up on the Discord.
Awesome. For me, man, that's a toughie, but I'm probably gonna throw it back to House of the Rising Sun, the Animals version. Yeah, dude. That's so quick backstory. Like, if I can like choose what song is like playing as I'm like leaping off the mortal coil, it's gonna be House of the Rising Sun by the Animals and Bad Moon Rising by CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh, I love me some CCR.
Those are my two songs. Those are my two songs.
Nice.
So yeah, you can find me HurtLocker028 on all of the platforms you can possibly think of.
Awesome. And take us home, Hurt.
Always. Thank you so much for joining and hanging out this tonight. We had a whole lot of fun. We kind of went off in some tangents with a Hot Wheel dog, but we keep it live around here. We keep it live. I have to do it. I want you guys to smash that like button, my dudes.
Oh God, he did it.
We really appreciate it. If you guys can share it to your social medias, and
That's part of
whatever
his outro.
helps. Yeah, it has to be part of the outro. You guys are great. Thank you so much. We're out of here.
All right, later, everybody.
Later.